Hey world, it's Bean when to come back to another video. I'm tripping right now because I went to high school in Austin, Texas, and back in the '80s they had this thing called busing, where a lot of the kids that lived on the east side of Austin was bused to Crockett High School, where I went to school, which is on the south side. And the south side, that was a a predominantly white demographic. Uh, East side was predominantly black demographic, Afro-melanated, low income. They had the projects and everything. And, a lot of kids was bused from the east side to the south side. And I could never understand that because I'm like, man. And I remember asking myself the question in high school, why don't they have high schools on the east side, where the brothers live, right? Because, see, mind you, I had just moved from Vernon, Texas. I'm a country boy. And I moved from the country, to Austin. My dad was in the Air Force, but we moved to Austin. And we moved to the south side of town, which I was, like, very uncomfortable because where I grew up was predominantly Afro-melanated people. You dig? And so we was all right there living together, loving each other, you know what I'm saying? And so moving to Austin, I really felt very depressed at first because when I walk around the neighborhoods, I didn't see anybody look like me. But then when school started, because my assumption was that, man, we done moved to Austin and it's a all-white school, you know what I'm saying? And that ain't where I come from. I'm 14, 15 years old. And so, but when school started, there was a lot of brothers and sisters. I was like, oh, okay. But they were all coming off two or three buses, And I was like, and then my best friend, Keith Malone, became my best friend. And all my partners was from the east side. And I remember jumping on the city bus and going to the east side because that's where all the brothers was. And so it tripped me out that why wasn't there any high schools on the east side, right? And so then, you fast forward 30, 40 years, and it's like, wow, that's what that was about. But the Brown versus Board of Education, that was the whole premise behind Brown versus Board of Education was that, an Afro-melanated family whose kids used to go to a school in the neighborhood, they moved to the suburbs, and they wanted to make sure that their kids could go to the school in the suburbs, opposed to having to be bused all the way back to the neighborhood schools. And that was the whole Brown versus Board of Education premise. An Afro-melanated family having the right to have their kids go to a school in their neighborhood opposed to having to be bused all the way back to the neighborhood school that they went to prior to moving. And so now, like I say, you spin fast forward, and in Austin right now, they closing 12 schools in Austin, 7 schools on the east side. Now, these are 7 historical schools, 7 schools that have been around a long time on the east side of Austin. They closing them. Now, all the teachers, where they going to go? And then the students will have to actually be bused again from their neighborhoods to suburban schools. Wow. I just thought that's interesting for me. So check it out, man. In Austin, Texas right now, they're finna close 12 schools. 7 schools on the east side. And if you go to Austin right now, I mean, it's definitely regentrification going on because, like I said, I was in Austin in the 80s, and I go back to Austin right now, I can't even recognize East Austin. Remember, East Austin was a side of town that mostly, like Caucasian people, wouldn't even go to the east side of Austin. 11th Street, 12th Street, MLK, Chicon, wasn't happening, right? Now, you go to Austin, Texas on the east side of town, and, I mean, it's totally regentrified. They got baristas and people, riding bikes, and, I mean, so what that basically tells you is that all those people that used to live on the east side, they've been taxed out. The property tax is going to go up, and they're going to regentrify that area, just like they did here in Houston and 3rd Ward. Unfortunate. All under the guise of capitalism. But listen, I'm not hating, but I just think it's something to think about. Just look food for thought. Alright, I'm finna get on out here. In the meantime, between time, any more outside to bring you joy. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and push the notification button so you know when I'm dropping another video. And being Willie's out of 5,000.